Listen, I'm not saying the Caps are going to lose. I just think they're in a war. I have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I literally think anything could happen.
Now,
I have
talk
no
to me
idea.
tomorrow morning after a loss. Then I'm going to have a different answer.
Yeah. Well, who knows? Happen. I do know that
Although
Barry
you
Trotz,
really
hold
just
on.
want to split on the road.
No, I really don't, because Toronto's obviously proven they could go into Washington and win.
Yeah, Barry Trotz got his hands full because everything I read about this Mike Babcock guy is what sort of a master sort of guy he is at running the bench, and now he's going to have the advantage, right? Because they get to set the line first or last, whatever the hell it is. I guess is it last?
Yes.
Last.
It's last, and that's going to be a huge advantage to them. So I don't know, man. Just hold on, fasten your seatbelt. At least they're playing, though. At least not like the Wizards, who you're going to have to wait 3 days to play and then wait another 3 days and play. I'm telling you, I'm borderline hating the NBA at this point. It's just
Because of
run
the
down
schedule?
and shoot threes. I just don't like the style of basketball anymore. No one values possession in the NBA. And I don't.
They rarely value defense.
They don't value defense.
Yeah.
They don't value
Although
possession.
the Wizards, for a stretch yesterday, played pretty good defense. I mean, I think the refs took the night off, to be honest with you, or the day off. I think they could have called that a little bit closer than they did, but they didn't. But you're right. I mean, that's just the way the NBA
It's
has
just
been
the way the league is.
the last few years.
But I mean, big game from John and Beal, and Marcin came up big, Keefe came up big. I mean,
There's 6 guys in double figures.
yeah, it's good. I mean, they only got 15 from their bench. That's not going to really be good enough.
I just don't understand with the Caps. Getting back to the Caps, where is this team that was dominating teams for most of the regular season? What happens to them once they hit a postseason series?
Mm-hmm.
One thing that comes up, and it comes up in the regular season somewhat, but I guess in the playoffs, Cakes talked about this before the playoffs, that they don't call as many penalties. And so you don't have as many power play opportunities. This team scores on the power play all the time. And in the game two,
There was
power
a
play
ton of
goals.
penalties.
But 5-on-5, for whatever reason, the Caps don't dominate like they do on power plays as they do on 5-on-5.
Well, the other thing is, if you look at it, they're losing faceoffs. I mean, I think was Oshie 1 for 11 on faceoffs, something like that. I think they won about 43% of the faceoffs. Of course, the final play I think there was off a faceoff that Toronto won. And Carlson lost his stick. I mean, it's just a big debacle.
Yes.
Maple Leafs right now have a 4-2 lead in even strength goals in the series.
Yeah, I mean, that's just surprising to me. I just don't understand what happens to this team when they get into a tight playoff series, even against a team that they are clearly better. I mean, they're just in Toronto.
We think.
Well,
During the regular season,
based
they're
on the
better.
regular season, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I put a lot of stock
Well,
in
somebody
that.
said, I'm not sure who the analyst was that said it, and we talked about it last week, but if the Caps lose to the Maple Leafs, it will be the biggest, if not the biggest, one of the biggest playoff
Upsets
upsets ever in the history of hockey.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they look like equals in this series so far.
We can open up the Hadid Carpet Cleaning listener lines at 800-636-1067. We're talking about the Washington Capitals. The series is tied at 1 apiece. They now head on the road to Toronto, Game 3 tonight. How do you feel about this team's chances of winning the first-round series? Most people thought it was gimme. Cakes was saying, if they don't finish this thing in 5, it's a disaster. Joe B kind of reiterated that. He expected it to be a 5 or less series, which is still possible. But are you still confident that this Caps team advances out of the first round to face most likely the Pittsburgh Penguins again? And what's going on? What's wrong with this Capitals team that won the President's Trophy again, best record in hockey, struggling right now in a series where they've gone against a young Toronto team and they've been in overtime in both games?
Yeah, but the one way you could look at it positively is that they played fairly poorly, and both games are going to overtime, and they had chances to win both of them. And if they settle in and figure it out, maybe they can just take off.
Yeah.
That could be one way to look at it. If you want it, my guess is the diehard, the faithful Caps fans are going to be a little bit in denial, and they're going to just be supportive until see what happens tonight. And I think the casual sports local fan will just be, oh, it's DC curse, Caps, same old Caps, blah, blah, blah. That'll be my guess.
I think you can win the series in 6, and it's fine. When Cakes was saying you had to do it in 5,
That was absurd.
as long as you advanced, fine. I mean, you'd prefer to, of course, have a shorter series, but
Well, put it
survive
this way.
in advance.
It's very intimidating when you see Pittsburgh just taking care of business like they are.
Right.
It scares the
rolling.
crap out of you.
Yeah.
It just is intimidating. It just is. No matter what you think this is their year, it just scares the crap out
let's
of you.
just be honest. Pittsburgh's a better team. Until Washington can prove it against Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh's a better team.
Well,
I
they've
guess
won
so.
8 of the last 9 series
Yes.
against
Now,
the
even
Caps head-to-head.
even if Washington
I didn't even know it was that bad.
has more points in the regular season, I don't care. Pittsburgh's better until Washington can beat them in a big series.